Sounds like you scored some good mistletoe. Tell me the truth. Did you miss me that much, or are you buttering me up for Christmas? How you doing? I haven't seen you for a while.
Missed you.
How many of you are from out of town out here? You have. Okay. You're from out of time, out of place. The weather here, we have had about the last 5 days foggy weather, which is a little unusual here. The airport has been closed down, I guess, from San Francisco down to San Diego. Are they going to have more fog tonight?
Yes.
And nobody can get in and out of the city. It has been foggy here, folks.
How foggy?
That's good. Aren't you glad you came? Well, out at LAX, the fog was so bad, they found the luggage but lost the airplane. No, it's been so foggy, Robert Young showed up at his own house instead of bugging everybody else. And so foggy, one guy changed his career from a peeping Tom to a feeling Tom. That's it. Well, we are officially now into the Christmas season. If you watch television, you can tell that. 17 more shopping days. Do you believe that? Well, actually, not shopping days, 17 more days till Christmas. And this is the time of year, of course, that everybody waits for the three wise men and hopes that they show up at the White House. See, I'm from Iowa, Nebraska, and I'm used to what you call old-fashioned Midwestern Christmas. Now, Christmas in California, in Beverly Hills, just does not make it.
No.
To see Santa Claus on the corner with Bermuda shorts, 85 degrees. Have you been to Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills?
Yes.
Probably one of the most expensive streets in the entire world. You got to catch the Salvation Army Band on Rodeo Drive. They got Nelson Riddle charts. And Oscar Peterson sits in on the piano. It's just as not the good old Salvation Army Band. Oscar Peterson is a piano player. Nelson Riddle makes arrangements. But Christmas is, this is a friendly time of year. It's the time of year you finally get to meet your mailman, your milkman, and your gas meter reader in person. Well, it was a jolly season right up to about there. I bought a beautiful fir tree this morning, Christmas tree. Took it to Earl Shive to paint it green. How many of you are finished with your Christmas shopping? Be honest. Anybody finished? You know the stores this year are having what they call pre-Christmas sales? Pre-Christmas sales. Now, that's the same stuff that they couldn't unload last year after the after-Christmas sale. So they saved it this year. Exactly where was it? This monologue became a situation tragedy. Somewhere along the way, it happened. Have you seen, and God knows I hope you have, the new specialized Christmas cards to fit particular situations? Yeah. Every year they come up with something. They have one for a mother whose children have all grown up and moved away from home. And it reads, Christmas comes but once a year, which is about as often as you call me. It's the new Hallmark guilt card. Okay, now, sure. Okay, that's better. Okay, you can all stay now. You see the lovely picture in the paper of the Reagans and their Christmas tree? Nancy Reagan trimming the tree. And according to the paper, I don't know if it's true, they said the tree contains $7,000 worth of ornaments. Yeah, $7,000 worth of ornaments on the tree. And the Reagans asked the public for suggestions as to what they should hang on the tree. And the name David Stockman came up the most. Well, retailers are kind of worried this Christmas because apparently the economic crisis is worse in this country than we thought. The president himself the other day, or officials at the White House, said we may have a budget deficit this year of $109 billion and maybe $164 billion by 1984. Isn't that nice? You know, if the government ran this country like a regular business, we'd have had a fire last Thursday. But you know, the senior citizens have been having conferences back in Washington, and they're kind of mad. Have you heard of the senior citizens group, the Gray Panthers? Mm-hmm. Yeah. They are protesting Ronald Reagan's economic policies at the White House Conference on Aging. But Reagan said, and I quote, "I will not betray," it's the president speaking, "I will not betray my own generation." Well, how could he? They all died at Pompeii. I think some of the senior citizens may have some grounds for complaints. I mean, Reagan went a little too far when he just declared polygrip is now a vegetable. But the president said he thinks things will be great. There will be economic growth in the spring. That's what Reagan said. He also believes the Rams will get a wild card. Well, what else is happening? December the 8th today, right? Yes. You know whose birthday it is today? This is one of those little things you see in that Chase's calendar of annual events. Vincent van Gogh's birthday.
Wow.
Famous painter. You see, one thing about, in those days, if you had to buy a present for Vincent van Gogh, I guess is the correct pronunciation if you want to use the Dutch pronunciation, Vincent van Gogh. Yeah. It was a lot less expensive. You could only give it half a Sony Walkman. You didn't have to... Okay. Now, here was an interesting proclamation made by the Pope last week. You probably read this. I didn't quite understand it, but the Pope said in a proclamation that there is no sex in heaven, but there is sexuality in heaven. How many of you read that? Interesting? No sex in heaven, but there is sexuality in heaven. It came as a personal disappointment to me. I was planning on getting it on with the Bronte sisters. But look, it's not to be. I'll go for the sexuality. Tonight we've got two interesting gentlemen tonight. We were going to have William F. Buckley and John Kenneth Galbraith. We couldn't get them, so we got Buddy Hackett and Rocky Graziano, which we thought was very close. Very close. So stay where you are. We were back. We have with us tonight Mr. Buddy Hackett with us tonight, and Rocky Graziano, who had a book called Somebody Up There Likes Me, and his new book is called Somebody Down Here Likes Me Too. He's a fascinating man, and Rock's got all kinds of stories. He's known practically all the famous people in the world, and interesting guy. What do you have there?
I have a welcome tonight. Seems like a nice time.
Thank you. It's very nice of you.
The Tonight Show.
Not for me.
Oh, welcome.
I thought it was for me.
It's nice to see you once again. Back on your own show.
There goes your Christmas gift.
The Tonight Show welcomes a new NBC affiliate. KTVE-TV, servicing in El Dorado.
El Dorado.
No, El Dorado.
Oh, boy.
Pronounced with long A. I had instructions.
Oh, boy.
El Dorado, Arkansas, and Monroe. People from El Dorado. Monroe, Louisiana. They joined us on December 6th. Isn't that nice? Congratulations, KTVE-TV. KTVE. Yeah. Remember those great nights in Monroe, Louisiana?
Should be El Dorado, shouldn't it?
Well, they say long.
Of course, I don't want to argue. It's your
See
town.
this? See? El Dorado.
El Dorado.
Don't get them steamed.
No, I won't. Yeah. El Dorado's very nice.
Yeah.
Are there other towns called El Dorado?
Yes, there are. There was a famous movie, wasn't there, El Dorado? Cadillac. The Cadillac company?
Of course, our producer only knows it's a Cadillac. He wouldn't know if it's a famous town or not. Oh, yeah, it's Cadillac.
I'm driving downtown on my El Dorado.
Yes. A while back.
Yes.
Why is there only one light on this camera tonight?
Because the other light is broken.
See, on front of every camera, there's a little, what they call a tally light that lets us know which camera is working, and normally you have two lights.
We'll take a picture of it, and you can see none of them are working on that picture. Yeah. There's a picture of those wonderful lights.
Of course, that won't show up because naturally... Now, let me explain this. Let me explain something. Let me explain why it's impossible to show you the one light on this camera from either of these other cameras. As soon as we go to that camera, both of those lights go out.
No. They don't both go out. Only one is on.
I know that, but if there were two, they would both go out.
So we can't speculate on that. There.
We'll show them that there are two red ones on this one. See, if you pan over here, you'll see the two red lights on this camera. Pan over, Bobby, from this camera, and you'll see immediately the two red lights. Now, you see that? See the two red lights?
Now, there are the two red lights that are not on.
See?
There it is. There you see.
You see, we can do it.
One light.
How did we do that, Bob?
Magic.
Thank you. Anyway.
It's good to have these technical things.
This is not going to change the course of the show at all, but I think we should point out these things from time to time. Hi there. See, it throws you off because I look at the... Yeah. I'm used to the two lights like this, and now I don't know exactly how to look at
it. We could, if you want, turn both lights out.
Then I wouldn't know it was on at all.
Oh, you'd know.
How would I
know? Well, you just have your own little glow, and you know when it's on you. You know. Over the years, you learn those things.
Enough of this. A while back.
You said that a while back.
Yes, I'm trying to get to this. We had a thing on euphemisms, and I'm sure you know what euphemisms, you know what they are, but in case you don't, and we take no chances. A euphemism is a word you use in place of another expression that's a little milder and in place of more offensive ones. If you said somebody was rotten and you want to use a euphemism, you would say they're what? Rattin. Buddy, there are a lot of Yuletide euphemisms.
Sorry, Jack.
What? What is it?
It's a red light.
In case you need another red light.
Another Jack Grant, our prop man, getting a flashlight wrapped in a... I can hold it when it's
I didn't know they had these things for Christmas.
No, what? Yuletide euphemisms.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yes. A while back, we had this. In other words, see, people will say something during the holidays, and they really mean something else. For example, when a department store advertises a pre-Christmas sale, what that means is we've jacked up prices 110% and are willing to knock them down by a whopping 5. That is a euphemism. That's just a test one. That wasn't one I was going to use. That was just one to
explain what you're doing.
That's right. For example, when your paper boy sends you a card that reads, "Wishing you and yours a joyful holiday season," what that means is, come across with some Christmas bucks or I'll feed the sports section to your cat. See? This is going to go in the dumper. I have a feeling that this is going downhill.
But you told me years ago, always have faith in the material and deliver it as though it was wonderful.
You're right. Here's what you'll like. Euphemism. When your wife says, "I really don't want a thing for Christmas," what she means is, make that credit card smoke buster or you ain't going to get lucky till spring.
See? Trust the material.
Good. When someone says, "I hope you like this present," I looked everywhere for it. What they mean is, on the way over, I bought this from a kid on the freeway off-ramp. When the person at a party says, "I always know when I've had enough," what they really mean is, when I'm looking up at a highway patrolman's boots, I only have one or two more. There's a little gnat flying around.
Several. There's another one over here.
Has there been somebody had a bad fruitcake in here?
While we were gone?
By the way, don't send me a fruitcake for Christmas. Anybody.
He doesn't mean it. He loves fruitcake. I know that sounds
anti-Christmas spirit. No, don't send me.
He loves fruitcake.
Don't you dare send me a fruitcake.
All of us send Johnny.
I have fruitcakes from 1938. Sitting out there covered with mold.
Yeah.
And nobody...
But he really loves
it. Do you know there's only one fruitcake in the whole world? And people keep sending it to each other? There's only one. Somebody gets it, they send it to somebody, and it's traveled for centuries, that one lousy fruitcake.
We may disprove that this year.
Yes. When a label on a toy reads, this toy has been tested as 100% safe for your child, that means you better add Junior to your Blue Cross. This one, every parent will know. When a label reads, this toy is easily assembled.
Oh.
If you follow the simple instructions inside, what they mean is you better call Dr. Carl Sagan in the Army Corps of Engineers.
Right.
When someone says, oh, thank you, what a beautiful tie. What that means is Yasser Arafat wouldn't wear this to a camel's funeral. You ever get one of those trees, artificial trees, that says this tree has been specially treated and is 100% fire retardant? What that really means is you better leave some milk and cookies for Red Adair. Red Adair is the well-known... famous firefighter.
Not well known here, but...
Not well known, but...
around the world.
At oil wells all over oil rigs all over the country right now, they are hysterical at that joke. Okay, one more. You women know this. When your husband calls you on the phone and says, I'll be about 10 minutes late, I'm going to pop my head into the office party. What that really means is if you don't hear from me from June, remarry. Not from June, by June. Till June. Around June, with June,
first you have to
June,
do the material.
June, out of June, only there.
That's really a vintage you only can do once a year.
I must save that for next year.
Okay.
Your economy will be in better shape next year, and that'll play much better.
Yeah. And then you can say a while back again.
A while?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to continue with this, even with the one light that we have. We have Mr. Buddy Hackett and Rocky Graziano. We'll be out here shortly, so here's a you. Okay, we're back. Buddy Hackett is here again, and if there's anybody funnier in the world than Buddy Hackett when he is cooking, I don't know who it is. He's working, he opens, well, that means working, right? At the Riviera Hotel in Las Vegas, December the 13th. Would you welcome Mr. Buddy Hackett?
Last time I was on, it was so hilarious that when I went home and taped it, I didn't erase the tape.
You came over here and you said, I'm going to go over there and tell some jokes.
Say some jokes.
Why don't you do that? I'm going to just do a few jokes. You don't have to, you know.
When you talk out of that side of the mouth, I can't hear you.
Oh, over here.
So I'm glad. I'm glad that the show's now only an hour instead of an hour and a half. Because I'm in a rush to get home because I'm sex-starved. Which I'm now 57 years old. You wouldn't think I would be sex-starved, but I am. And, of course, a lot of people tell me 57 is middle age. How many people you know is 114? So, when I don't have sex for a while, I get a pain over the eye. I asked the doctor, why does it hurt over the eye from no sex? He said, the subconscious is embarrassed to put the pain where it should go. So, puts it over the eye, because if you walk around going, whoa, they give you a little aspirin, but if you walk around, whoa, they give you 30 days for that. So I'm in a rush to... You know, you couldn't do stuff like this years ago. When I've been on The Tonight Show. This is my 264th appearance on The Tonight Show. Either that or 15th, one or the other. And I was with Jack Parr years ago. And I remember one time I'm sitting with him and he said, we're going to go to Tokyo. We're going to go to Tokyo. Men and women take baths together in Japan naked. That was a big thing to say on television. They take baths there. Yes, they do. They really do. Whenever he thought he's being... When he's being naughty, he would shake. He said, men and women take baths together naked. Yeah. I said, we used to do it in Brooklyn without water. So he said, Hugh Downs and I were there last year, but we wouldn't go naked in the bath. We wore our jockey shorts. I said, well, if I go with you, I'm going to go naked in the bath. And A few months later, we're in Japan, and we're going to the baths, and he's got an NBC crew with him, and we're ringing the elevator. The bath is on the 5th floor. And I forgot I said I'd get naked in the bath, and he remembers. Promise you won't get naked in the bath. Say you won't get naked in the bath. I said, okay, I won't get naked in the bath. I won't get naked in the bath. I got naked in the elevator. I don't know anybody in Japan. I figure you get to the 5th floor, the door opens, and voila. The door opened, I jumped out. We were in the lobby. It didn't go up. And there's about 150 Japanese on the horse. I said, if you can't see from where you are, come a little closer. You don't have to duck into things there. And then we went to Hakone. Hakone is about 84 miles from Tokyo, and you take the bullet train. And you go up to Hakone. And we went to the sumo wrestlers. Sumo wrestlers weigh 500-600 pounds. Jack's got a camera. He's filming the sumo wrestlers. He says to me, want to have some fun? I said, yes. He said, you dress in a sumo outfit, and you wrestle one of those sumos. I weigh 210, he weighs 600. Let's hear the part about the fun. He said, well, I'll have the camera. I said, why don't you put some feathers in your wango and light them on fire and run into the volcano, say, hi-ho, I'm a fire duck. How about that? It'll be a talkie. He says, are you afraid? I say, no. I was afraid, but I ain't going to tell him I'm afraid, see? And they dressed me in a sumo outfit, which is a little silk band around the waist. Then there's a silk loincloth dangling down, and it comes down between your legs, and it comes up, and it divides your cheeklies. And when they tighten that rope, you'll fight anybody. I mean, you're really angry. First you say to the guy, hey, don't do that. Hey, tighten it up, I'll rip his ears off. Then I see that tightening his rope, too, and he says, oh, my shut, no, you man, I'm gonna rip an ear off. I tell myself, don't panic, Hack. You're smaller than him, but you're faster. It's in the rope. Get out there quick, loosen his rope, and you got him. And I run out there quick, and I grab his rope. I think. And he said, and he picked me up, and he threw me out of the ring. But first he kissed me goodbye. Hello. And I saw them guys on the train. They go to play golf. They were going to play golf up there in Hakone. And they're talking Japanese. Yeah. And they're saying to me, Ben Hogan.
They're huge, aren't they?
The sumo wrestlers?
Yeah,
oh,
huge.
Are you kidding?
One
guy was eating a Zeppelin.
A Zeppelin? Hors d'oeuvre, I suppose. We'll be right back after this. We're back talking with Buddy Hackett. And in a few moments, Rocky Graziano will join us. You know Rocky when you were... I don't know where somebody got this picture. Were you about this age?
How old?
When you knew Rocky?
Wow. Is that me?
That's you.
Oh, my goodness. What a nose.
Would that be about high school?
I think it was after high school. I think that... I didn't have any money when I went to high school to take a picture.
Yeah.
I think I was working in the Club Valley in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Club Valley, I was getting $87.50 a week in 1947. I think
Two shows a night, 3 on Friday and Saturday, I'll bet.
Well, any time a customer walked in, he said, get the show ready, get the show ready. One night I came to work and I didn't work for anybody. The boss quit. The boss went. There was only me and a bartender was there. Nobody else was there. And, well, who owns the club? Nobody. Whoever wants it. Nobody wanted it.
Yeah.
So the last guy out was the bartender. He had a bad leg. He had to keep the club.
Yeah. What's the worst experience you've ever had in your life in front of an audience? For whatever the reason, things just didn't do. I'm not looking for a sad
that
thing,
kind of
but
thing.
you know.
Oh, no, just a terrible thing. I was working in Grossman's Hotel in Lakewood. Well, it's not very pleasant, but I'm going to tell it to you anyway because you asked.
Well, I don't want to make it sad.
It ain't sad. It's gooky.
What do you mean, gooky?
Well, I had a very bad cold. I was getting $30 for the night. My nose was really stumped up.
Well, maybe in this.
And I had to enter through the audience. And I was on stage and I gave one sneeze.
Oh, no. Don't tell me.
All right, well, that's it. I walked out again and got in the car and drove home and cried all the way.
Oh. Did you ever work an audience where they just didn't understand you? Where you
Plenty of times. Are you kidding? The Golden Hotel in Hurleyville. I was 15 years old.
Golden Hotel in Hurleyville?
Yeah, I was working with a guy who I was a busboy, and he made me his comic, and he was a straight man. And went out, and we did the show that night. A couple sketches. He taught me some in Yiddish, some in English.
Right.
Nobody laughed. It was all Sephardic Jews. They only understood Spanish. And the boss came in, and I'd never seen a room before.
Right.
With a sink in the room. I thought that's the way it must be in Camelot. I thought that's how the people live when you're swell, to have a sink in the room. I didn't know other rooms really had a bath with it, too. So when I seen a sink in a room, I said, this is the big time. Yeah. And I was sleeping that night with the sink in a room after we did the show with no laughs, and the boss come over and he says, get out. I says, get out of bed? He says, get out of the room. Get off the premises. I'm going to call the state police. I said, why? He says, because you're not funny.
Like they can arrest you for that.
Yeah, then I found out if you're not funny, you can get arrested. But then I watched your monologue all these years, and I saw it was all a lie. Well, I was never too crazy about this show anyway. So.
Well, we're getting away with it for almost 20 years. You realize next year, 1982, we'll have been on 20 years?
20 years.
Yeah, in October. Oh, I didn't do it for that. The time goes by.
Is it true?
The time goes by so fast.
That you've gone 20 years without a raise? Is that true?
That's right.
I don't know how you let them sucker you into things like that.
Look, when I
The way they take advantage of you, it's just not fair.
No, I've had nice relationships with NBC, really.
Sure have.
Oh, sure.
Every time you make the smile goes off your face, there's a new president over here.
Not true.
As soon as you say, I don't think I'm happy, a new set of luggage shows up in the executive suite. And the guy packs his two chrysanthemums and a little desk set, and he's off. You may come on, shop. No,
Sayonara. What do you want for Christmas? If you want to go out and buy yourself something now, let's assume you've been poor all your life.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you got a lot of money. What would you go buy yourself? Or what did you buy yourself the first time you had some money?
I don't know. I think...
A good watch? Go out and get a good suit?
I think the first thing I did... The first time I had money, I made an invention on the bed spring. I was 16 years old.
What? That's your dad. Dad was an upholsterer.
Yeah.
Is that why?
And I made an invention on the bed spring, and my mother owed 4 months' rent. $40 a month rent. She owed 4 months. I made enough money. I paid the 4 months' rent plus another 8. I gave her a receipt for a year's rent, and she said to me, you'll go to the chair. So, since then, I've never paid rent because I didn't know that was a criminal offense.
How long? Rocky's going to come out a couple more. How long?
I know Rocky since 1948. We met at the Neverly Country Club. I was a comic, and he was training for his second fight with Zale.
Yeah, that was one of the great fights of all time.
Oh, yeah.
One of the great fights.
Made up my mind to never be friends with a fighter after that, because when your friend's in the ring and he's whacking a guy and the guy's whacking him and you don't understand it that good, you get more pain than he gets at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was a kid, I used to box. I boxed for $3, but it was different. It was great big gloves, and you needed the $3, but I didn't think that I wanted to see him get hit like that.
Yeah, it's a rough sport. He's a fascinating guy.
Yes, he is.
And amusing and funny. We'll be right back. Talk with Rocky in a moment. We're back. It's been about 25 years. Rocky's best-selling book, Somebody Up There Likes Him, came out 25 years ago, talking about how fast time can go. His new book is called Somebody Down Here Likes Me Too, and it's true. Rocky Graziano probably has as many friends as anyone I know. Wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah.
He's got friends from all walks of life. And If you've never seen Rocky Graziano fight when he was at his prime, you've missed one of the really tough fighters. Would you welcome Rocky Graziano? How you feeling, Rock?
Great, Johnny.
Yeah.
Really great.
You know, I hope you're not going to tell me tonight, because I saw that fight with Joe Frazier the other night.
Oh,
Who was the guy he fought? I can't even think of his name. You can't either, but...
Mel Torme.
No, it wasn't Mel Torme. Tough young guy.
Before a young kid, I forgot his name, but
Jumbo Cumming, you're right.
And he shouldn't have. That guy's a tough guy.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that Frazier
Got in the ring?
won the fight.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's 38 years old, Frazier. Now, Ali is coming back and going to fight in Puerto Rico now.
Well, I don't like those guys. Muhammad Ali is a hell of a... No. I don't like them to fight, I mean, Muhammad Ali is one hell of a guy.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy, a gentleman. I love him. I love Joe Frazier. And I think they shouldn't fight. I swear they shouldn't fight. It's a shame. Even if they need money or they need money, I don't know what it is about, but they...
Yeah.
Shouldn't fight.
Because you can get hurt at that age, can't
when you're
you?
old, you can. Like him. I hit him a shot in the El Morocco the other day. And he thought he wanted to hit me with a hook. Right? About the last 2
Do
weeks.
guys still come up to you when you're out? I run into you every time I'm in New York.
Yes.
I see you around 3rd Avenue or something, and we go and have a beer or something.
Yeah.
Do guys still come up to you? I can't imagine anybody being that foolish.
And
want to mix it with a champion.
No, very rarely. But sometimes a guy gets a little drunk.
That's what I'm talking about.
He says, I think I could take you. You mean? Yeah. I says, you talk worse than me.
And they back off pretty fast,
they
right?
back off pretty good. They know.
Well, it's illegal for you anyway to get in any kind of a fight.
Well,
isn't
now
it?
I'm 59 years old now, and I'm in pretty good shape, and I drink a lot of beer. You know? And that's all I do. Just drink beer. I like to drink beer, and I love it. And so that's my diet. That's a diet I got. I just drink beer. I don't have to eat too much.
Yeah. You've really known him since 19...
I know him since 19, the Neverly Country Club with all our pals, and he went in the ring with me one day, just kidding around. But then he went like this here, and he went that way, right out of the ring. My buddy was a funny guy, and I met him, and we know each other so many.
Tony Pallone,
Al Panino, all those guys, and Albie Goldstein, and all those guys.
And what was that guy from Cedar Woolley, Washington? Remember that?
The kid died. He got killed in an accident.
I didn't know that.
The nice kid, yeah.
He was a light heavy. You were boxing him every day to get in shape for Jake, which the fight never come off.
Yeah. Was the Zale fight the tough one? The toughest one?
Oh, he was a tough guy. Geez, those tough guys.
Yeah.
Especially this guy. Oh my! He was a tough guy. I hit him. My hands were swollen like this here. I hit him with shots.
Wouldn't go down.
And he took a punch that was unbelievable. And I took a pretty good punch too. And we both got. I went to Chicago for the book. About a couple weeks ago, and I saw Tony Zale, and I saw him in I said, "Hello, Tony. How you feel?" He said, "What are you doing over here?" I says,
"Did he talk that way?"
Yeah, I said, "There's a little, just a little." I act like a little voice in him.
Oh, I see.
So I said, I'm here for a book. He says, you had the book already. I said, no, I got a new book coming out called Somebody Donnie Likes Me Too. He says, who's that? I said, you're going to do a book? He says, you're going to mention my name in the book? I says, yeah. He says, you're going to pay me some money for the book? I said, I'll give you a couple of dollars. What else? Yeah.
You were kind of a hellion as a kid, weren't you? You got in a few scrapes.
Well, I was in a lot of trouble. When I was 11 years old, I was in reformatory.
Yeah.
I was in the 4th grade for 9 years, and all that jazz, my whole life. And I didn't have too much education, but I was a streetwise guy, and I learned. And funny thing, Johnny, it's a real true story. I learned to get respect in the ring. You get the black guy fighting a white guy, or Puerto Rico, whatever. We'll fight, we'll kill each other for 10 rounds. And right after the bell rings, we hug each other.
I've often noticed that in fights. That's hard to understand.
I really don't. I don't understand it either. But I learned respect.
Yeah.
Which is nice. And then when I got into this show business with all these actors, and Martha Ray, a beautiful woman.
Yeah, you played her boyfriend on the show, right?
Sure. Goomba. Goomba,
yeah.
And she was very, very nice to me, you know. And I liked them. They treated me nice. I treated them nice. And they always laughed when I talked, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I talk better now, you know.
Oh, yeah. Did you ever find anybody you really didn't want to hurt? I mean, or is it when you get in the ring, everything
I had a kid that I liked very good. He was a hell of a good fighter. His name was Tony Gennaro.
Yeah.
And I fought him 3 times.
Yeah.
I beat him 3 times, and just once I knocked him out. Two 10-round decision. I always liked Tony, you know. I really didn't want to hurt him.
Yeah. Is there anybody you really, like when Joe Louis fought Schmeling, you know, the second time where he really was out, is there anybody like that you really wanted to nail for any personal reasons, or you didn't even have to mention any names? I just wondered if there was a particular time you wanted to go fight where you really wanted to.
Certainly, a guy like to split his head open with an axe.
I
don't want to.
That pretty well says it. Yeah.
That's in a book.
Split his head open with an axe, huh?
No, see, and this here book I got, I just thought just a couple of seconds.
It's right here. Right here.
The book is somebody doesn't like me. It's not a book about fighting. It's about all the people I met, like Johnny and the whole gang of them, and the whole bunch of us over here, Buddy and everybody. You know.
You met didn't you once work with President Reagan?
President Reagan, and all of them, and Errol Flynn and Martha Ray and Edward G. Robinson. So I was down.
I'll tell you what. Hold the story. Let me do this commercial. Then come back. Tell me about, because that's a funny story about him wanting to meet some certain people.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll do that. I know. I've read the book. Yeah. We'll be right back. How about that, Rock? There's the book. Somebody down here likes me. Now, you're talking about Edward G. Robinson, who played in his career many great roles, but was remembered for the tough guy roles, Little Caesar and so forth. And what did he want you to do once?
Well, I saw this here guy, you know, on a show while we were doing a show, the Martha Ray show.
Right.
And a little guy, no, it wasn't that too low, it was almost about as big as me. And he says, Rocky, you know, I'd like to speak to you. He didn't speak the same way as he did on the screen. You know, he was different, you know. Nice. He spoke like nice. He always was like almost to me like a sissy, like, you know.
Right.
Hello. How are you?
Do that again. What was that? Hello. How are you?
Hello. How are you? I would G. Robinson. And he said he wants me to go down and show me, you know, downtown in Mulberry Street and things. He says, and see some real tough guys, you know.
You want to meet some tough guys?
Some tough guys. So I says, come on down. I said, you know. So I said, I'll bring it down. We'll go down to eat. So I went downtown to an Italian restaurant. All the guys were, all the men were there, all the guys over there. And he was looking like it. They all looked the same as me, as everybody. And they all looked tough.
Yeah.
But they wasn't. One guy was a lawyer. One guy was one guy. And I brought him, and he was so happy.
He thought they were all really.
He thought they were really wise gangsters. You mean?
Yeah.
But they wasn't. One was a lawyer. One was a judge. Now
a moment ago, when you started to talk like that, and you says, "Hello, how are you?"
Yeah.
Did you ever take any elocution, any speech lessons at all?
When Reagan was doing a bid in Miami Undercover. He told me if I become president, I'm going to make him my elocution teacher.
Is that what
Yeah. No, but the guy I want to see a guy come, this author of the book. His name is Ralph Corsell.
Yeah.
When he come to me, he says, Rocky, I'm going to do a book on you. Somebody down here likes me too. I said, that book was done already. Get the hell out of here. What do you want to do a book like that for? I know this guy all my life. I said, what else do you want to do? So I know Ralph Corsell all my life. So. He says, no, what this? He says, I've been with you for the last 10 years. He says, I got this little tape machine with me.
And that's the way he did the book.
He taped me for years, for 3 or 4 years. He put everything together, got the book, and God bless him with doing it.
How's it doing? Is it selling pretty good?
Great. We sold out in New York.
Yeah. How do you spend your time now? What do you do besides now that the book is done?
No, I do a lot of commercials.
I see you've been on for.
I do a lot of commercials all over New York.
Which ones are the toughest?
Commercials. They were no all. He said, I read the cards, cue cards.
You did, yeah?
Cue cards. I told you I was in the 4th grade for 9 years. I told you.
Yeah.
I'm not that smart. I don't read that
You did.
well.
You've had breakfast cereal commercials?
Yeah, I thought it was maybe about 5,000 commercials.
Yeah.
I go to do New York City. I just done a nice, good commercial in New York City for OTB, off-track betting, and. Really, it's really good, a good commercial. Yeah. And I got 20 G's for it,
Yeah.
I say in 2 words. How you like that?
What did you say?
I said, I says, a big header in the 5th,
That was it?
That's 10,000. I just said, hello there, Eddie. Oh, there, another 10,000.
Another 10,000 for that.
I don't even know Eddie.
That sure as hell. That beats getting hit in the head, doesn't it, in a ring?
But I want to tell you something.
Yeah.
If I had 2 kids now,
yeah,
and they're young, like they're young, I mean, 16, 17 years,
right?
And with the money they're making in fighting, $8 million for one fight, $5 million for one fight, they don't have to go to school.
Yeah.
It's just going to become a fighter.
Yeah, let me ask you this. Jim Murray, you know Jim Murray, the sports writer. Jim Murray is probably one of the best sports writers in America. And he said the other day in a show that was something on his life, that boxing is probably the only sport where 2 people get in and the idea is to knock the other person unconscious. Right. Not the only sport. It happens in football, but that's not the idea. Only in boxing. He says it probably should be outlawed, and yet there's great drama in boxing. Because it's a one-on-one, and through history it has been high drama. But he says, and a lot of sports writers think that it should be outlawed because it's the only sport where you go out to physically scramble another man's brains.
Good for me. I mean,
no, it's been a great life for you.
But help me not to be in Sing Sing for 80 years,
Yeah.
I mean, it really helped me out. Sports helped me very good. It made me learn respect. Respect a black guy, a white guy, a Puerto Rican guy. Really nice. I mean, and I really respect like you and him and him. I don't know about him. He's rough.
So you say it's okay to go ahead and box, right?
Oh, I would really because if you stay in good shape, if you any kind of sport, any sport besides boxing, if you stay in good shape, you can become a billionaire in any one of these sports: basketball, football, baseball. Beautiful.
And there are probably as many injuries in other sports. If
yeah,
not more
well, sure. Hey, look at these guys getting hurt all the time.
Yeah. Okay, we'll be back. Stay where you are. Rocky, I hope the book is a big hit for you. I really do.
Thank you very much.
Good to see you again. I'll see you next trip to New York.
Okay,
all
John.
Right?
Good.
Buddy, you opened at the Riviera December the 13th, and you're going to be at the Concord Hotel 2nd of January. First time in, 17 years, you said?
I haven't been there 17 years.
Yeah. You'll have a ball. It's a great place.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for being here, buddy. Tomorrow night, we have Elizabeth Ashley, Charlie Callis, and a segment of some new foreign commercials for you. Have a nice night.